Hi, I'm Krissy Marsh.
I'm Victoria Montano.
And I'm Nicole O'Neill.
And welcome to At Home with us.
Krissy, Victoria,
and Nicole.
Now, it's getting a little bit chilly outside, so what we've decided to do is to make 3 soups.
Yes, so 3 soups, 3 different ways.
And we are talking soups, we're not talking other things 3 different ways, Nicole. Why does it always go to set?
And we haven't even opened.
Okay, legs up like a
sparkling.
Steggles chook, but I have actually pre-done a chicken stock. I've made the chicken stock.
So what are you making?
I'm making a minestrone with a twist because Milana takes this to school nearly every day in winter and she likes to have a little bit more protein. So obviously you've got the beans for protein, but she loves to have the additional chicken. So because the chicken's already cooked, that will be the last thing we'll put in. And it's really, really easy. What's laborious about it is just the chopping, but I make enough that it virtually lasts me the whole winter.
guys. As Krissy Marsh says, I'm thirsty as a camel. Can we please pour
Let's
these
go.
drinks?
Yes.
So today we've got some San Miranda sparklings. We've got a beautiful Prosecco and we've got a Prosciutto, which is a Prosecco and a Rosato.
Yes.
Which I thought was very interesting. So San Miranda wines are based in King Valley in Victoria. Yeah. And they do amazing cellar door viewings and tastings.
So if you're going across that border, venturing into Victoria, Nicole, this is an IQ test. Let me do it for you, Nicole. No, Nicole. It stays down like that. She never, exactly. Champagne bottles are her forte, not Prosecco. Oh, see, it's growing up in Queensland with all those 4X golds. 4X gold. Well, I'm going to get started whilst Nicole does that.
Victoria, what are you going to be cooking?
What should I do?
I don't know. What are you going to be cooking?
I'm going to be cooking the easiest tomato soup you could ever imagine, and I make it all the time, and I'm really excited to show you guys.
I love a good tomato soup.
Yeah, this is so easy.
Now, I've turned the gas on, so we are cooking with gas, and I know you love a bit of stirring.
Yes.
You're a good stirrer.
I'm very good at stirring.
Did you get my joke?
I like to stir the pot almost as much as Krissy.
Exactly. So if you put in a good...
But not as much as me.
Oh, exactly. Okay, so it's a good dose of olive oil, and you've got to love the Italian look. She's just free pouring. She'll be there for an hour.
Yeah, I'm still going.
Okay, that's probably a good dollop there. We're going to start with the onions.
Here you go, Krissy.
And then,
cheers, ladies.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's try this. It's Australian, which I love. Oh, that's really nice.
Divina, can I tell you something about Prosecco that you probably don't know? All alcohol is bad for you, but it does have very few calories. So if you're ever confused...
Oh, that's what they're saying, there's no sugar.
Correct. So if you're very confused about what to drink and there's Prosecco on the menu, ladies, order the Prosecco.
Oh, there you go.
That is delicious.
It really, really nice.
It's very
My mum would
smooth.
love that. It's smooth, it's light, loving it. So we're cooking the onions. We'll get them to where they're a little bit translucent.
Am I going to put the rest of the sofrito ingredients in, or?
You've got to put the salt in now with your onions.
Yes.
Who's making this soup?
Sorry?
Is it her soup recipe or mine? I would never put the salt in yet, by the way.
I like to put everything in the oil that I want the food to taste like.
Wow, okay.
To infuse the oil.
Okay, well, this is my recipe, so I would be infusing the oil with carrot and celery as well. But you want to put the garlic in now as
I
well.
want to put the carrot and
good,
celery.
good. Just checking.
Okay.
So we're putting the carrot in, and this is a great soup, great immune booster. So making the stock yourself, it's a bone broth. The Vietnamese, the Chinese, everyone's been doing this for years and years and years. They know the health benefits. Why do they say, oh, when you get sick, you've got to have chicken soup? It's immune booster.
But some people don't understand. They don't mean chicken soup from a can, or they don't mean. And later on in my recipe, I'm also going to be using chicken bone broth, but I'm going to be using the easy version. So it would be good to see that too, which is just from the store, but has all the benefits.
Yeah, exactly.
Celery's going into Krissy's minestrone / Victoria's.
She's taking over my soup. Oh my gosh, what am I going to do?
You take over her soup.
I will. And the biggest thing is with the garlic. A lot of people put the garlic in too soon, and you really want, I like this to, a lot of people just throw these minestrone ingredients without stir frying them. I actually like to stir fry them a bit because
that get a bit brown.
Yeah, it gives them a bit of
agree.
flavour, and so then the soup has a lot more body and a lot more But you don't need to brown the zucchini because that cooks in a flash. The beans are already cooked. That was the lazy, cheap method. I just pulled those bologna beans out of a can. Always rinse them off because you never know what the cans are coated with.
So this is something that you can do on a Sunday.
Yeah, and have all week, and then just pull it out of the freezer as you do. The two big things are these two, because the chicken's already cooked in the beans, they literally go in at the 11th hour.
So would you put them in just when you're warming the soup up?
Yeah, well, no, I'd put it in right at the end as it's almost finished.
So let's say, for example, you cook it on a Sunday, and then you're serving it on a Tuesday. These two would go in on the Tuesday.
No, you put it all in, put it in the freezer. Milana takes it. Oh my goodness, there's a fly again.
I'm getting this.
That's what happens when you have 5 dogs. I don't really have 5 dogs. Anyone that has 5 dogs is crazy. So there's some beautiful, you can hear that sizzle and that lovely texture that we've got in there at the moment. The carrots, the celery, and really that is the basis for any stew that you might make during winter, not just a soup.
This is the basis of a ragu.
Yes.
This is the base, like this is...
This is the French,
and
the
also,
Italians.
carrots and celery are relatively cheap to buy.
Yeah, they are.
And they make a great base for most soups and a lot of meals.
Yes.
As Victoria was saying, a ragu, you do a bolognese.
Yeah.
So after this step, you could go on to many different paths with.
At this point, I'd put in the garlic. And then I would put in because this is like tomato. You could put in the tomato because these have just come straight from the can. They're whole tomatoes. If you had crushed tomatoes, you wouldn't need to break them up, but these are whole. So Victoria's doing a great job of cooking that in at the moment. So I have to wait a little bit until...
Hang on.
Now, that doesn't really need to soften because there's still a lot more to go on. We're going to pop in 1 can of tomatoes. And really, the tomatoes for me in a minestrone is
Can I stir them and break them up?
You sure can. And look, I hate wasting that. So what I do is...
A bit of water.
Yeah, a little bit of water, and it just adds to everything because, you know, obviously you need quite a lot of liquid with all of this. So there you go. And if that was in the jar, I would actually shake the jar out and pour it in because I hate...
So this is something you wait on a Sunday, you do it and you make it and you can set and leave it.
Yep, you can leave it, you can pull it out for a dinner party. I'll often do a hot minestrone soup with some croutons on top and then some parmesan. A bit of beautiful parmesan on top and eat it with crusty bread and that can be... Oh my God, that fly is going to drive me crazy.
I've got the spatula.
Great, let's find it.
Whatever.
The swatter. Okay.
He's gone.
So now, at this
he'll
point
come back.
here, I would add the chicken stock.
Oh, there's 2 of them.
Stop, move.
Oh my goodness, she's on it. She's on it. Ah! Nothing gets away from Victoria Montano. So I did say previously
Is it on the floor? I think you knocked
this chicken stock. And what's great about
Piece of shit.
What's great about this chicken stock is you can actually just use this and put some noodles inside it and it'll make a great chicken noodle soup. So rather than...
Krissy, how do you make your chicken stock?
Really easy, and it doesn't need to be chopped. Look how roughly all of this is chopped up.
We didn't put the zucchini in?
No, not yet, because the zucchini I'm not browning. I'll put it in towards the end because it's so quick.
Tell us how you make your stock.
So the easiest way to make the stock is I put the whole chicken in.
Cooked or
raw?
Raw. Okay.
Whole organic chicken in raw, and I really love it to be organic.
And you fill it with water?
Cover with cold water, and then I throw in onion.
Same thing that we just threw in here.
Exactly.
Celery,
onion, carrots,
onion,
but it's not chopped properly.
No,
it's
just rough.
It's really, really rough, and then that cooks down. But I'll use this.
And then how long do you leave it to cook for?
Oh, look, the longer the better because the bones start to... But I actually pulled the chicken out this morning to...
defrost?
No, to take the chicken breast out. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But you'll see there's still a lot of chicken in here, and the more that cooks, the more that the gelatin from the bones come out. Oh, I'll eat that into something else. Yum. Make it into a chicken sandwich for Milana tomorrow.
So the chicken stock is a staple in everyone's kitchen.
Yeah. And do you know what? I freeze this as well. Look, I do also...
So do you freeze it after you make the stock?
Yeah, after you make the stock. But I also use what Victoria's going to use for hers as well.
Yeah. The ready-made.
The ready-made. So sometimes
there's no shame in doing the ready-made. If you don't have time, grab the best quality one you can find and afford.
I've got Maggie beer.
And I couldn't find any chicken stock for my recipe, but I've used, so if I can't find a good quality chicken stock, I'll use a vegetable stock. This one is a great one. It's from Campbell's and it's perfect.
And with this,
it works really well.
Just so that you know, with this, I have put the chicken in. You could make this with vegetable stock and just keep it as a traditional Italian minestrone, which is traditionally vegetarian and isn't made from chicken stock. So that's why I say this is a version of.
Yeah.
So once you're sort of content with how much you put in, give that a good stir. At this point,
you let it simmer.
Yes. And at this point, I'd be putting in the zucchini.
So do you ever put any rice or pasta in your minestrone?
No, I don't like it. I like the beans for the protein. I think because I always freeze it. I think if you were going to serve it, you could pull that out and put some
macaroni
in. No, a tiny
a risotto,
a risotto or something like that. Tiny pasta to put in. Do you ever put pasta in?
Sometimes I feel like you need to just make it a bit heartier.
If I make it on the spot, I put some I like to put some farfalle in there.
Yeah, I'm putting in a bit of paprika in this. Not too much. A bit of paprika.
So that was paprika.
Because it also adds to the colour. And at this point now, because you never know with the chicken stock, although I never put salt in my chicken stock, Victoria has salted this.
I've salted.
So at this point now, everything's not cooked through, but I would actually just try it for seasoning, because this is when I would put the pepper and everything in. And oh, you've salted that beautifully. Really is good.
Because it's in the oil.
I'd put the pepper in now.
How much?
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
You would put it in at the end?
I would put it in at the end.
Because it gets bitter.
Because it's fragrant.
I love pepper.
See, I put mine in as I go, but I did. Neil Perry the other day said about his steaks, he never peppers his steaks until afterwards, because it becomes bitter.
It changes the flavour profile.
You can try that if you want, Nicole, to try that little. Once that's cooked, so let's put the lid on for about 20 minutes. Then once that's done, then you just toss these two into warm and we're ready to go.
Okay, so now we're going to leave Krissy's beautiful minestrone and go to my really simple tomato soup.
We're doing secret men's business today, not women's business, secret men's. Yeah, I don't know. Let's just pretend. It sounds more exciting. Mine's boiling away, so over to you.
Over to me. This is honestly, I've said it a few times today, it is the easiest soup in the world. Nicole is going to cut. I've got 4, I'm a bit scared. When you cut the 4 garlic cloves, show me what it looks like.
Do you want the minced?
Is this an Italian tomato soup, would you say?
This is I'm going to say it's sort of a nod to an Italian tomato soup, but I really feel like it is quite Australian. I'll tell you why, because it's so simple.
And it's got cream.
And I do add a bit of cream.
I love that.
It ties it all together.
It ties it all together. So what I want to say...
you're slicing that beautifully.
What I want to say about the cream in this soup. So you could actually make this like a 0-calorie soup and not add the cream. You could add a dash of cream, which is probably what we would do today.
Add a dash of yogurt.
Parmesan.
You could add parmesan. If you were going to make this for a dinner party, just add the whole thing.
Yeah.
Add the whole thing.
Yeah.
And make it a cream of
And
tomato.
also, I like doing the swirl on the top of the soup. That can make it look a little bit fancy.
So, Nick, can we put the onion in?
Done.
You wanted to put that in.
Easy. How much olive oil would you like?
Same amount that you saw me
Oh my goodness, you were just like 1, 2. This is Victoria's. This is Victoria's olive oil. So anyway, back in the hood, when I was doing this and I was seeing this person and
way more.
we didn't know what he was doing, and then next thing you know, I'm still pouring the olive oil whilst I'm chatting away.
More.
Oh, okay, I've got to go a bit harder.
Okay, now you can stop.
Okay, beautiful. Onions in.
Onions in, and can you please put 3 pinches of salt in for Krissy?
See, I'm really... This is the thing, guys, about cooking with girlfriends or cooking with friends. It actually teaches you. I've learned so much already from these two, and I think that no matter who you cook with, you always learn. Like, did you learn from your mum?
Definitely my grandma.
Yeah.
So I had a bunch of basil. I pulled off all the sort of, they're not dead, but not pretty leaves. And there were only a few pretty leaves. That's okay, I'm gonna save those for a garnish. And I'm gonna add these to the olive oil. And I know people say that you're not supposed to do that with basil, but again, I'm flavoring the oil. So you're gonna get quite a big punch of the basil in this soup.
Yeah, see, I'd always put it in at the end fresh, but I've learnt this from you as well.
Yep, that's perfect, but we'll just wait for those onions to soften. Yep.
Believe it or not, I'm putting in a little bit more olive oil.
The 4 garlic.
I don't want
That's going to be right. So we are going to go with the 4 garlic cloves. That looks right to me, but you need to wait.
And look, you know what? The thing is, you use your common sense with that. Like, I used some garlic recently, and they call it Russian garlic, and one clove's that big. So, and then other ones is, you know, as tiny as your pinky.
Tell us about the tomatoes.
Okay, so I've got these baby cilantro tomatoes. I didn't do it on camera, but I roasted them in the oven. 250 degrees, olive oil, sea salt, 15 minutes.
I saw you do that the other day. Yeah.
When I see the first few start to char, I will then pull them out. I want the char because that's the sweetness, that's the caramelization.
Look at this in here, guys. Look at what this is doing at the moment. It is just glossy. The basil is infusing.
Stunning.
I've got the salt in there early.
Yeah.
It's really looking good. We've got to get these. Yeah, it smells good. Oh, it smells delicious.
This is a soup that you can prepare. You've had a long day at work. You've been rushing around with the kids.
This is going to take...
You're coming home at 6 o'clock at night.
This is like a 25-minute soup.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a lot of the things here are pantry staples.
Yeah, and also the thing is with soups is don't try and make them before a dinner party. You've got enough going on, or don't try and make them for dinner. With soups, do them on a Sunday when you're sitting around doing other things, and you can just have them on the stove, and you know it's quite relaxed.
Are we translucent?
Well, look, we're translucent if you want to be impatient.
I'm not impatient.
Okay, we can wait a little bit longer.
Very patient person.
I am so not. I'm so not patient. That's why I'm self-diagnosed ADHD.
I just want to say also to, and I don't want to confuse things, but if you are dinner partying, so if you're dinner partying with the minestrone or my soup, I haven't seen Nicole's recipe yet, you can also add a little bit of a cup of white wine right now.
Yes.
You can add, if you don't feel like drinking this, I could just throw it in there. I'm not going to because I feel like drinking it. And that would just add like a depth of flavour, make it a bit more
And look, the
fancy.
biggest thing with dinner parties, I mean, look, all of us entertain a lot. And I think the biggest thing with anything is preparation. Like, I will know, every Tuesday night dinner I have between 5 or 20 people here. I will know every single dish. I will know that that's going to be put in that bowl, the potatoes are going to be put in that bowl. I prepare and know in my head. So this soup, you could make a week beforehand.
Put it in the freezer.
Yeah. Okay, we're time for the garlic. Beautifully chopped garlic,
Well
Nicole.
done, Nick.
You get a gold star for that.
Thank you.
I love that. Now, Victoria, Miss Italy, tell me, chopped to crushed. Talk me through your thoughts on that.
Look,
because I'm a lazy person, I like to crush.
no,
Mincing versus crushing is very different.
I know. But I'm asking.
This is going to be blended, this soup, so it's kind of irrelevant. But I think it's, I don't know, like
Minced
it's
garlic.
mine's a preference. I don't like to. This is going to be blended, so it's irrelevant. But I don't like to have too much. Like sometimes I don't even cut my garlic. Sometimes I cut it in half, 4 cloves, and put the and then
So
pull them
yes,
out.
I do that when I do a carbonara. So it just gives the flavour and it doesn't actually have the garlic.
When you're doing a soup like this, you can rub, because you're blending, you can put everything in very
I could have just.
And do you know
put
what's
the
really
cloves in.
surprised me is the the basil's almost fried without burning or without.
So beautiful.
I'm really loving that. See, I never would have done that. I love that. So what are we up to next?
Okay, so we're going to put the tomatoes in next, but I just want to talk you through this bone broth. So Krissy did the real deal. This is the Maggie beer version.
Bone broth is another version of stock.
Yes.
All it means is it's a little bit better for your gut health. Okay, so that's the focus of these new age bone broths. But now I'm going to go in with these tomatoes. If you can see,
You've scraped everything from the pan, haven't you?
Right?
Beautiful.
So all that juice, that is just from the tomatoes. So that is like a tomato dew.
Yum. Delicious. Look at this.
Now, sometimes when I cook with tomatoes, very often I'll counterbalance the acidity with a bit of sugar.
Okay, so that's the reason I've used these tomatoes is because you don't need to.
So they're
because
sweet.
they're
Low acidity.
so sweet.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Now guys, you know what? Victoria's not going to put stock in this, and I'm just going to use this straight away on a top of a pasta. That to me is one of the most stunning pasta sauces you could ever do with those chunky tomatoes like that. Like, this is where you learn this one dish, you've got another 10 dishes. Toss through some cooked penne in that now and put it out as a beautiful tomato salad.
Perfect.
I mean, there's so many, and that's the thing, you've just got to use your imagination with these sorts of things.
So I'm going to go in.
I think that's the thing about the three of us is that we have really mastered the basics. And I think that when people say,
Nicole, she's really mastered.
No, but I think when people say, oh, you're such great cooks, it's not that we're great cooks, but because we've mastered the basics, a lot of what we do come from those basics.
Yes.
And
you could put
wouldn't
cream
you agree?
in that now and make that into a creamy, rich pasta. I mean, that would be
There's a
incredible.
lot. Once you know how to mix the right flavours together and you master that, the rest, cooking is easy.
So, in summary, stop here if you want to and put some pasta in. We are going to put 1.5 litres of chicken bone broth in.
And keep your heat up quite high because obviously you're wanting things to incorporate fairly quickly before you simmer them down. But whilst you're here and you're watching it and you're overseeing it, it's good to keep the heat up high, and then once you start to simmer it...
Okay, so I've just looked at that.
And that's 1 litre.
And that's 1 litre. Now, I am not...
I agree.
Smart. I'm going to put a dash in, probably like another 100 mils.
Yeah.
And I think that's all we need. So
now, what are you going to do with the rest of this?
So now with the rest of this, I am going to...
Fold it and stick it in the freezer.
Fold it and stick it in the... Lasts for 4 days.
4 days in the fridge.
This lasts for 4 days in the fridge. What I'm going to do...
Forever in the freezer.
Because it's a small amount, is I'm going to poach some chicken in it tomorrow, or I'm going to deglaze my chicken stir fry with it tomorrow. So once all the chicken and stuff starts to stick to the pan, I'm going to throw this in, deglaze the pan. That's the sauce. I'm going to stick it on some rice with some bok choy on the side, and we've just done Asian with bone broth. Today we're doing Italian.
So I would pour that into an ice cube tray.
Beautiful.
And then I always have a little bit of chicken stock ready to go when I need it.
Yeah.
And they defrost so
I used
easily.
to do that when the kids were little, but now I find...
Even the ice blocks.
I know, now I find I use it so much.
I know.
I just cut open it once it's frozen and throw it in.
But
Can we blend this?
now that it's only Adam and
ready
I...
for me already
I'm
to
ready.
blend, okay.
And then we'll leave it on the stove.
Okay, we get this, we stick blend. See, I would have cooked it a little bit more like this, but you're gonna stick
I'm
blend,
going to stick
then
blend
reduce.
and then leave it.
makes no difference.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
turned off.
It's turned off. Temperamental. I'm trying to sabotage Victoria's soup. It looked too stunning for my liking. If anyone doesn't have one of these, it doesn't matter what brand you get, everyone needs a stick blender. Forget trying to pour this hot liquid into a blender or seem to do anything. You don't even need to cool this down, but trap for young players, don't go pulling it up or you splatter everything everywhere. So this little knob on the top actually directs, you can start on 0.
Yep.
And then you can go a bit higher as you want. But do not pull it out as it's on, because you're going to burn yourself, you're going to have stuff everywhere. And you know what you find? You don't actually have to even move it up and down, you just move it around the pan and that will get everything in. If you want a chunkier soup, you might stop now because you want people to understand that this is homemade and have some chunky bits in it.
I reckon give me like a little, it's close.
But Victoria would like a really pureed.
Because we're going to do it with the cream.
I like a pureed.
I like it pure. What,
Yeah.
I mean, you're halfway
But
there.
you do this with pumpkin soup, you can do this with cauliflower soup, zucchini soup, any soup you've got, you just glide it around the bottom of your pan.
And obviously the basil is going to start to disappear. But it's never going to properly disappear, which is fine.
You want to say that.
I'm not lifting it, I'm not going to burn myself, Nicole.
Tiniest corner.
Why?
No, if it gets stuck.
No, it never gets stuck, you just glide it round. See how that's blending up? You can't hear anything right now. This is Johnny's perfect world where we can't speak and he can't hear me. Keep cooking, baby, keep cooking. This is his perfect world where he can't hear me.
And I think we're good.
Oh my gosh, look. This
Have
looks
a little
beautiful.
try. It does
Okay.
need some time now.
The biggest thing with this is
Krissy?
not time as in herbs, but time as in,
No, this needs time as in minutes.
yes, minutes. So we'll taste it now. And it's fairly runny,
But the cream will go in.
delicious. Needs more salt.
It's more salt.
Yeah, that was me doing the salting. Definitely needs more salt. It's delicious.
Salt in.
It actually, it needs to simmer a bit longer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It needs to thicken.
thicken now. So we're gonna crank up the heat. Leave the lid off so that it evaporates and that we get some actual, like, it should reduce by about an inch
And
around the
Later
sides.
on, we'll put the cream And to serve, we'll do the pepper and some fresh basil. And now we're going to Mexico.
Mexico.
Nicole
Wait on, I
O'Neill.
think.
Mexican chicken soup.
Yeah, and you know what, guys? My soup is almost done. So we'll leave that. Yep, it'll be perfect timing.
My soup is reducing and Krissy's soup is on the boil, and we are going to parlay to Nicole O'Neill. We're headed to Mexico.
We are. This
Mexico.
So picture this. It's pouring rain outside. You've had a long day. You need to get dinner on the table in 30 minutes and you are stuck for ideas. This is a Mexican chicken soup.
Who taught you this one?
So this is
A
one that I
Mexican
learned. This is one that I learned on the run between the girls fencing and when you think you're organised and you're not.
Yeah.
So
Try grilled Charlie's.
barbecue chicken. That's
Love
all you
it.
need. So Krissy, you do the shredding.
Okay, do you want just breast or do you want the whole chook?
I like the breast. This is 2 breasts in
Okay,
there.
perfect.
So I stopped, I picked up barbecue chicken. Victoria's
Cheddar?
going to grate the cheddar cheese.
Oh, Nicole, they've even got a wing on there for me.
So I've got some chopped up onions. Everyone's got onions at home. Everyone's got garlic at home.
You're not using the skin though.
No.
No.
I found a random chili in the back of my fridge. So we're using chili.
God, how long's that been there? You live in New York now, Nicole. Is that safe choice?
In my mother's fridge. Anyway, so I'm going to start frying it. So where's my pot? Here we go.
This cheddar's so soft.
It's so what?
Is this Krissy? Which one turns?
Yeah, no, that's the oven. This one turns on this one here. There
Okay,
you go.
great.
I just don't want you to burn yourself, Nicole.
Okay,
there
great.
you go.
Is this the olive oil here?
Yep,
Yeah.
in the
Okay.
heaty lamp.
So, lashings of olive oil.
Do you know, they say now, like olive oil, obviously everyone knew that the Mediterranean diet was super healthy, but now they're actually saying that olive oil is, like, people are drinking it. It's that good.
Oh, it's very
Yeah.
good for you.
Yeah, it's
So,
incredibly
lashings
good
of
for
olive
you.
oil. I'm going to let the olive oil warm up, and then I'm going to fry some onion, some garlic, and some chili, all in the pan together
Nice
for
and
it to
easy.
brown. Very easy. Everyone's screaming for dinner right now, and you need to get it on the table as quickly as
So
possible.
how long do you think this takes all up?
I think this will take no more than 30 minutes.
Wow, okay.
I think once you get the soups, the stock set, you go upstairs, you put your tracksuit on, you pour yourself a glass of wine, and you come down ready to serve dinner.
Perfect.
Amazing.
So this is why this works so well.
Right.
So my olive oil's warmed up. I'm pouring in
I'm going to
the
save that wing for me for a little later.
I'm pouring in the onion.
You can use your hands to shred this chicken
Yep.
rather than doing it the way that I'm doing it, but that way I'm hiding that, saving that wing for me for later on, and the skin. I
don't
love,
like the wing.
oh my gosh, I
Oh,
love
no.
the skin of a
I'm really
barbecue
struggling
chook.
with how soft this cheddar is for grating.
Oh my gosh, but it wasn't, it looked
Get
like
there?
it was
I like to shred my own cheese because I find that
caking agents, that's
Yeah,
what it has on
That's
it.
exactly right.
So you'd never ever, people go, oh, but it's fine, I'm just buying, you know, pre-grated cheese. Can I tell you, don't save yourself 5 minutes, save your health a lifetime.
That's it.
They have caking agents on the cheese so the grated cheese doesn't stick together and it causes all sorts of health issues.
So that is what grated cheese looks like when you do it yourself. It is softer and it is going to stick together, but that's how it should be.
So I am now frying the onion and the garlic.
You do yours together.
Yeah, this is
Nicole's wild.
a low fuss, easy soup.
Low fuss.
Low fuss.
We like low fuss.
We don't need to be fancy.
No.
We need to be efficient.
You haven't kept this chicken in your car for like a 10 hours. Can I tell you a really good story about growing up in Queensland? Mm-hmm. My mum, we'd come home and we'd go, what's for dinner, Mum? And she'd go, I've got a chook in the boot.
No.
Yeah, she used to put the chook in the boot and I'd be like, oh Mum, how long's that chook been
And
in the
then
boot?
forget about it.
Well, no, she wouldn't forget about it, but a lot of people don't like the skin.
So I'm
Love the
pouring in
skin.
some chili.
I love the skin
If your
and the
fa-
stuffing.
And
if
the
your
wings.
family doesn't like chili,
Who wouldn't like skin?
leave the chili
Who are
out.
these people?
Victoria, do you like chili?
I like everything.
Krissy, chili?
Yeah, and if she didn't find that chili in the back fridge, use chili flakes.
Chili flakes. If your kids don't like chili, leave it out. You can always add the chili yourself later. So
Nothing better than a barbecue chook. That's so Australian.
there's
isn't
so
it?
much that you can do with a barbecue
know.
chicken. So much you can do. So while that is frying, I am going to open my can of tomatoes.
Whilst I'm in the corner stuffing my face.
I had the skin, it was delish.
Ugh, I don't like the skin.
Oh my God, I live for
Oh, I
it.
So
love
this is
it.
a can of
You
tomatoes.
put all of it in?
No, I don't know how hot the chili
And you
is.
want them already diced, Nicole?
Yeah, so this is diced or crushed.
Yeah.
It just makes it a lot easier.
I just overrode the recipe. I put all the chili in.
Victoria went rogue. So now I'm putting in the can
We love a bit of spice.
of
Where's your
tomatoes
spoon so I can stir for you?
and 4 cups of chicken stock. I couldn't find chicken stock today in the supermarket, so I bought vegetable stock. It'll work just as well. Chicken stock just adds a different flavour. So here we go.
Chicken stock adds a great depth of flavour.
Yeah. So I'm pouring in the vegetable stock. So you could leave the chicken out and make this a completely vegetarian soup.
And every supermarket now sells a barbecue chook.
Yeah. They
It's
look a bit
you can
scary,
stop and
but-
pick this up on your way home. Now we're going to let that simmer for about 15 minutes. We're going to go upstairs and put our tracksuits on, set the table, pour ourselves a glass of wine, and come back to this.
I didn't bring my tracksuit.
Nor did I.
We're setting the scene.
Is that what we do? Oh,
We're
right.
setting the scene.
Not really putting it.
We're setting the scene.
Whilst I'm eating. They serve me at
So
21.
the other thing you can do is while it is simmering, I picked up some corn and I just grilled it in the oven under the grill. Or you grill it in a fry pan to brown it, and then you take a knife and you chop it so you have it ready for a garnish for your soup. Got a rolling boil now, so everything's a bit chunkier than I'd like, so I've decided I'm going to blend it all. So I'm going to put the pan off. Blend it, not as smooth as Victoria's, but so I still want a few little chunks in there. Okay, that's plenty. Now, I'm going to
Put it back on.
put it back on a low heat, and I'm going to put the shredded chicken in there.
Beautifully shredded, Nicole.
Beautifully shredded Krissy
Beautifully
marks.
shredded.
Beautifully shredded. So, the chicken is cooked, so this just gives the chicken, it just warms it up.
That's Dolly. If you can hear her in the background, that's my new puppy.
Dolly.
That's Dolly.
Okay,
Thank you, Nicole.
and I'm going to give it a stir.
And you do all this. It's really intriguing me. At what point do you put the corn in and everything
When you
else?
serve it,
So
Great.
are you, is this?
So
you,
now
do you
I'm
put
putting
that
it
on
off.
for a few seconds.
That's
Okay.
it. It's done.
I'm going to come in and do my last thing.
And I'm going to put the lid on. And that's ready to go now.
I've turned mine off, and I'm going to put just half this cream in. But if you're having a dinner party, please put it all in.
Put it all in, Victoria.
Put it all in now.
Let's put it all in.
All right,
I
I'm
want to
putting it
try
all
how
in.
you'd make it.
Let's go wild. I just put
Yum.
it all in. And then I'm just going to pop the lid back on. The flame is actually off. And just let it sit while Krissy does the finishing touches of her soup.
Great. My finishing touches are I throw in the beans, which have come out of a can, but if you're going to go the traditional method and soak them. So really this is just about warming them. And this was the chicken breast that had come from the stock. Put that all in. I'm going to give it a little stir.
I love that these are 3 completely different
And
soups.
then
But they all
I'm just
have
going
a
to cook
basis of
that
tomato,
just to
which is
really
quite
warm
interesting.
through. And I'm going to freeze the rest for Milana's lunch, and then I'm going to serve some with some Parmesan, and I might steal some of Victoria's basil.
No, I don't have enough to share.
This is going to be great, guys. We're going to have entree, main, and dessert.
And soup.
Soup. Imagine, you know, we're going to be so healthy. All these veggies, all
Wow.
these. So with the minestrone, really, really simple.
Smells amazing.
And because we're having 3 lots of soups,
Just
I'm
a
not
little
going
bit.
to,
Just a little bit.
you know, do too much. But Victoria would never spill like that because she would take her time. She's looking at me horrified at how I've spilt the edge, but I am going to clean that up. See, I did it again. See,
I think the way you pour your soup really depicts the kind of person you are.
the personality, and my personality is like, just get it out there, you know, just get it out there. What was your tagline? Perfection.
Progress is always
Better than perfection.
It's
Exactly.
true,
So Krissy is progressive.
She's
Yes.
got time to learn
So,
how to pour. I don't know when she's 53, we're getting to the end of her life, but
Oh,
eventually
come on, the
she'll get
end of
there.
my life. Please, give me some more than that. Look, I'd put some basil on this. I'd actually chop it probably a little bit finer if you had a little bit more time.
I'm looking at your
And-
stems of your parsley.
Oh my God, the
Gorgeous.
stems
I
of the
like
parsley
it.
just came straight from my garden. And
It looks beautiful.
You know what I've got? I've got the old-fashioned curly one. Then I've got the flat.
Oh wow, that's
Combo.
impressive, Krissy.
But you know the curly one
vintage.
has so much more flavour.
Vintage.
I know, but it's so old school.
It
isn't
is
the
so
curly
old school.
parsley.
So should we start with ours?
No, leave it there.
Okay.
Just leave it. Put it there.
Leave it there.
So wipe it so we
Let
can
me wipe
film
it.
We are going to plate up my tomato soup.
Oh, yum.
We put that whole 250 mils of cream in there.
Delicious. Look
I'm
how
not going to
creamy.
do a huge. Oh,
Did you
worse
see?
than Krissy.
Did you see what just
I could
happened?
see
you hear it? I go, oh shit, straight away.
I could see this with a really crusty bread.
straight
Oh
away.
yeah, crusty bread.
I would have bought a crusty bread
I hope
roll,
you
but
don't.
Krissy's
I hope
now
you don't use your
gluten-free.
finger when
Don't
you're
get me
using
wrong.
your guess.
I would, but Krissy's now gluten-free, so
I know, that's nice. That's
under
kind of
pressure here
considerate.
now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now you've done it perfectly. There you go.
go.
I love it, and how the lead's going to go on top. You're just going to put
I'll
a.
show you in a second.
Okay.
One
okay?
leaf. She actually could have spared a leaf.
And you
here.
actually could have spared some cream and done a swirl on top.
Correct, but we just went the whole thing in.
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
And then we're going to do some pepper.
Beautiful.
I just put it in the middle. You're obviously going to stir your soup when we...
Yeah.
And pepper is actually... I'm not a big pepper user. Krissy,
Oh, I love
Krissy
it.
and Nicole
love it.
are, but
Me
there's
too.
one thing in the world that I always use pepper on, and that's tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
Yum. And you could make it spicy as well if you wanted
Okay,
to.
so you could put some chili flakes on
that
this
looks
as
so
well.
nice. Yum.
And I feel like this would be just so cute to serve to your girlfriends before, you know, for their first course. I've run out of big leaves, so we'll just do
I
this one a
love
little
it.
bit differently.
It's great.
Oh shit, I'm Krissy Marsh.
Yeah.
What? Make mistakes? Come on.
Progress is always better than perfection. What can I say? And there we have some tomato soups.
I love the American accent.
Now we have tomato soup
Yeah,
here,
tomato.
and now we are going all the way
To Mexico.
Los Cabos with Nicole and Neil.
So the soup is cooked. It's simmered for about 15 minutes. The chicken's in there.
Oh, it's thick.
It's thick and it's hearty.
Oh, yeah.
So now we actually make this into a meal. So we pour it
Oh, Nicole didn't spill a drop.
into the
I
bowl.
think she's been practicing.
She literally is such a...
Look.
Oh no,
She did. She did. Yeah. You know.
Krissy, what happened to the finely shredded?
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Quality control. I didn't claim to be perfect.
When you're a classic like me, you don't need a comeback. Well, she definitely needs to learn how to pour her soup.
Okay, so this soup is usually good for about 4 people.
Delicious.
I've just,
And we can save some for Adam
yep.
for a little bit later.
So
Definitely don't put
So we've
corn
done
in
that.
Johnny's. Johnny
Now-
hates corn.
I take some corn.
But yeah, we know I want to try.
I want to try the full
Okay,
thing too.
so-
Me too.
Oh, you do it like a
you do it like
poke bowl.
a poke bowl.
Like a poke bowl.
Oh,
so
no
you can all
way.
take as much as you want.
Oh.
Sometimes I even just serve it and then people top
their
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 own.
own.
So
Okay.
traditionally you can use a tortilla.
Yeah.
But I take some corn chips because it gives it a bit of
So
crunch.
upset about that.
Yeah.
You don't like
leave
these
mine whole.
corns.
Leave mine whole.
Yeah.
I like the salty ones. Nicole's got the ones without salt. So
You want yours whole, Victoria?
I put both on mine, crunchy and
Okay.
whole. Yeah, exactly.
They go soggy?
Exactly.
No.
No. Okay. Okay, just checking that.
Yeah.
Sprinkle with coriander, bit of sour cream.
Yeah.
Come on, Nicole, get this
So
show on
then
the road.
I get a bit of
There you go, you
avocado,
can use that.
bit of avocado.
Oh, they're awful.
Well,
They're disgusting.
it's so not salty. You could use salted ones as well.
Honestly.
I like them plain. I think the soup has enough flavour.
Okay.
So I put the avocado.
And you put sour cream in the soup as well.
Yeah, a dollop.
Beautiful.
So I love this. This is tagine. It's a Mexican mixed spice.
Strange with such an Arabic name.
Yeah, it gives it a real lift.
Nice smell.
I had this in a restaurant with on a spicy margarita.
It's got lime in it. I can
Don't
smell
go
the
sniffing that
Yeah.
right up your nose. Let
Coriander.
me get my glasses on and I'll tell you what the ingredients are,
So I
ladies.
put a little bit of sour cream. So you kind of make a little bit
burrito.
like a burrito, but you have it in a soup, which
burrito
is
soup.
very warming. Squeeze of lime, or I serve it with some lime.
And then one lime in each. Clever.
Chili
Yeah.
peppers, sea salt, citric acid. There you
And
go.
then a little bit of cheese.
It's just chili and citric acid and sea salt.
So a touch of cheese,
you
and then
go.
I can serve it on the table and everyone sort of puts their own.
Delicious. Yum. Let's bon appetit, girls.
And then, there you have your Mexican soup.
You know what the interesting thing? Let's pull Krissy's over there. All these soups have a tomato base. Like what a versatile
Vegetable.
vegetable.
There you go.
So there you have it. 3 soups, 3 different ways. It is autumn. As we've been saying this whole series, we are warming our way through to winter. Should we taste these?
Yes, and let's open a rosé from Sam.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Sounds good.
More wine to come.
Nothing better than a girl's lunch. We have this
Risotto.
prosciutto.
Croissant.
Prosciutto. Allora, vai avanti. And some minestrone with a twist. And then we're going to try our other two soups.
No, this is like a vertical soup tasting.
It is a vertical
Are we
soup
giving
tasting.
points? Or?
No, it's not a competition, Nicole. Thank you. If you want to turn everything into a competition today, I'd really love to talk about something that, you know,
Chicken soup for
obviously,
the soul.
yeah, we've known each other for a long time, but what really, really feeds your soul?
Cheers.
I'd say for me, because I can't really sit still.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's delicious.
That's
Is
delicious.
it really?
Oh,
It's
Oh
bloody
gosh.
delicious.
Okay.
that is delicious.
Pete, do
Oh, yeah.
a close up on that.
That is
That is
really
delicious.
Everyone at
good.
home, this is delicious.
I think for me, what I love
Can I try?
is oh,
Yeah, let's
I'm
go.
just not going to talk about what I love today.
Please.
No, you girls
Wait,
talk.
while we try your soup.
No, I'll try the soup.
It's beautiful, Krissy.
Thanks.
Krissy's dog's crying all the time.
Not
That
all
is
the
delicious,
time.
Krissy.
Only a little
It's
bit.
beautiful.
It feels very light and fresh.
I think with the minestrone, the longer you cook it, the more things break down. So you can either have it like this or cook it for longer and then things tend to
Yeah.
mould into each other.
So, Krissy, what feeds your soul?
Oh, look, I love losing myself in a TV series. That for me, you know, people say, you know, wrap yourself up in a book. I don't read novels. So I'll only read biographies, autobiographies. I love a good war book. So I wouldn't say that feeds my soul. I read to gather information. Dolly,
Pete flashed
Peter.
to her so that
Dolly,
You can use it
no,
if you need
Dolly, Dolly. This is the petting zoo, by the way. So yeah, I think for me, what I love is I really do lose myself in a TV show because that's some place I can just go and I actually stop for a second. But I'm not like a normal person and would watch one episode. Sorry, I've got to let her in.
You binged the whole thing?
I binged the whole thing. So I literally, okay, come on, doll. Come on, you cheeky girl. Yep, she's going to knock everything over. Just ignore her. Yeah, so I think for me, what makes me... Oh, I just stepped on her as well.
If you feel like you're having a stressful day and you just want to switch off, what do you do?
It'd be so rare that I would actually sit and binge a TV show. So that's like when I do, I just go for it.
Really,
Yeah.
I think probably for me it's my horses. But other than that, I'm going to say something that probably is a bit controversial. Food. That is my comfort, like eating,
Well,
baking.
that got me through COVID, was cooking.
You know?
I love baking. I'd have to say
Are we
baking.
tomato souping next?
Yes.
I'd have to say baking would be one of mine. Like, I love to go home and bake in the kitchen. I love to be, you know...
Yeah,
Delicious.
that is really good. It needed that whole cream.
Yeah.
Definitely needed that whole cream.
That is delicious, Victoria.
I mean, if you don't put the whole cream though, it's still really nice. It's just healthy.
So this is quite cool now by the time we got to it. And I actually like that.
It's all right.
I actually like that it's not, piping hot.
It is nicer hot and nicer with the crusty bread roll. You know, with butter. And
But you could have this as an entree or this on its own, you know, bruschetta.
Oh, this is beautiful.
You know, it's funny, I was reading the other day a story about someone and they were talking about that they just need 8 minutes. And, you know, being with your friends or chatting to someone, like 8 minutes can take someone out of depression.
Yeah.
Like if someone reaches out to you and want a chat, if you can give them 8 minutes of your time.
You know what they say with a child, and believe it or not, they actually say 5 minutes alone with each child.
10 minutes a day.
Is it 10 minutes?
10
but that
minutes.
is not easy.
Each child, your husband, your dog.
I know.
I get that easily with Theodora. I probably get 5 with Tim, and I'm probably at 30 seconds with Xavier. Because he doesn't want me in his room, and he goes and locks himself in his room.
As a parent or anyone who's important in your life, in your close family that you consider immediate family, you give them 10 minutes of completely uninterrupted time a day. 10 minutes is not that easy. You're giving 10 minutes without your phone on, without you talking to someone else, without the TV on in the background, 10 minutes one-on-one time, whether it's when you put them to bed or when you're driving them to school in the morning, but that's 10 minutes one-on-one.
that you're making. But don't worry about Xavier, boys do that. So boys reach an age where they actually need to push their mother away in order to sort of feel manly and go into sort of manhood. So it is, but you've got to persist. You know, and I laugh, even at lunch today with Nico, I didn't sit across from him, I sat beside him because he's like, don't sit across from me, you'll trigger me, you know? So there's certain things,
But why would you trigger him?
because that's what kids, they go through stages, you know, and especially boys. I you know, touch wood, I haven't found it with Milana, with, you know, the girls, but boys like to...
I'm squeezing some more lime
Oh,
yarn.
okay. I'll try that.
Because I want it on my...
And you're right, the chips didn't go soggy.
Can I mix it, or do I have to do it?
Mix it.
Oh, yum.
This is much heartier probably than...
Much harder.
This is a true meal.
Yes.
But this is, but it's so quick to make.
It is
Rather than it.
avocado in a soup. I'm still not convinced on that.
But taste it.
Yeah, it
balances
tastes
the
beautiful.
flavours.
But I would never think to do that.
No.
Look how beautifully I shredded this piece of chicken.
Beautiful, Krissy.
Thing is, for me, I think in life, you can cut a corner with a barbecue chicken, you can cut a corner with chicken stock. It doesn't matter. If you invite people over, they're just grateful to have an invitation. So don't worry and stress, is everything going to be
Cooking
perfect?
something like this is so much better than having a delivery.
Yeah, and preparation is key. It shows you've made the effort.
But even this is hardly prepared.
Yeah, but
pre-prepared.
Yeah, but also you can you know, prep lots of things, have your table set the day before, all those little things that make it so much easier when you're entertaining. Get some great bubbles over.
When you're cooking for your family, you want healthy, nutritious, fast and efficient food.
Yes. Cheers to that, ladies.
Cheers, guys. Can I say,
that?
you guys, I just spat. Can I say, you guys a my chicken soup for the soul.
Oh, I love that. Cheers. Cheers.
And to you.